Okay, so instructions for, okay, so for the sampler number 1, color balance, you're gonna click on the Photoshop document. That should go ahead and download it to your computer. I can see it's downloaded. And then you're gonna open it up in Photoshop. So I'm gonna double click and it should hopefully open here in Photoshop. And there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in. If you don't remember, zoom in is Control plus, zoom out is Control minus. And to just get back to like home zoom, where it fits everything, Control 0. So those are just some shortcuts. If you also need to move around, let's say I've zoomed in, Control plus, but I really want to be zoomed in, but like up top, I'm gonna hold the space bar and then I can drag. Okay, so I don't need to be zoomed in that much, but let's see what I'm supposed to do. All right, use the color balance adjustment layer and a clipping mask to make the images on the right match the images on the left. So this first one, it's like way too something. We need to make it a little bit more blue. So let's go ahead and first pop our name on here. You're just gonna double click. Oops, not right there. If you double click the T, you can go ahead and add your name. So I'll put Ms. Dreon, example. All right, and then we'll move on to the first one. So ocean. So remember in Photoshop, you turn your eyeballs on and off, and that's how you know which layer you're on. So I'm turning my eyeball on and off. All right, and I'm gonna make an adjustment layer. So hopefully your Photoshop is set up in the same workspace so you can find everything. But you're gonna go to this little, I call it the yin yang. This is really the adjustment layer icon, but that's like a big mouthful. So I just call it the yin yang because it's faster. So go to the little yin yang, the black white circle, okay, where I'm highlighting here. You're gonna click on that. And this one we're doing color balance, so I'm gonna go to the one that says color balance. All right, when I do that, something's gonna open and I have these different sliders. Now, there's midtones, shadows, highlights. For the sake of this sampler, we're just gonna keep it on the midtone, the default, because that should take care of the overall photo. But if you ever have a case where you only need to adjust the shadows or only need to adjust the highlights, you can go back in there and really refine. All right, so I'm gonna go to midtones, and this thing, it needs to be a little bit more blue. So let's see if it's this slider. No, that doesn't really look like it. If I'm moving this slider, that's not really working. So I'm gonna hit Control Z just to bring it back to 0. So I'm gonna try this one, and I think I need to make it more cyan. Up, and then there we go. That's looking a bit better. All right, and again, they're not gonna match like exactly, but we're just gonna try and make this a little bit more cyan because it was like way too red. So I'm gonna Control Z, and you can see like the original image, but oh no, I noticed something when I'm doing this slider, like everything is changing. This one on the left, like it's like a never ending, I can never match. It's because if I zoom out, you can see right now I'm color balancing the entire document. Do you see how everything is changing? So I actually need to add a clipping mask so that way I only adjust this one. So to do a clipping mask, you are going to right click on the layer that says color balance. So let me go ahead and zero that out. You're gonna right click and say create clipping mask. And when I do that, it's only going to affect the one image that's, that it's pointing the arrow at. So I have a clipping mask on. Now I can do this. Let's try the cyan. And that looks pretty good. Let me see if it was the blue. I think it was probably, nope, the blue is not good. So 0. We got to move the cyan slider until it looks like much better. There we go. That's a pretty good match. Not bad. Okay, so I'm done with that one. I'm going to go on to the next one. So next one I'm on, I'm going to go ahead and close this menu here because I want to see all my layers at once. So I'm just clicking this close tab group. That way I have more room for my layers. Okay, you used it. So I'm going to go right here to the landscape. And again, I'm going to my adjustment layer, my little yin yang. And what's this one say? I need to make it remove the magenta cast in the sky and make it look greener. So I'm gonna go to my color balance. And again, I'm taking my magenta away with my green, but oh no, everything's changing. I need to right click, create clipping mask first. And now it will only do the one. And then that looks pretty good. All right, so I'm done with that one. Move on to my water. So I know I need to make my clipping mask. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that first. Right click, create clipping mask. And then let's see, I need to remove the greenish cast. So I'm gonna go this direction. Okay, and then for my trees, color balance, and I'm gonna right click, create clipping mask, so on and so forth. So I'm just individually adjusting each of the layers. Once I finish and I have my right side matching my left side, you're done. Make sure your name's on it. And then you're gonna save it 2 times. You always save everything twice. File, save as, and you're gonna click save on your computer. You are welcome to click this don't show again. I just need to keep it up so that way my students can, their screens match. Okay, mine. Save to computer, and I'm not saving it on my downloads. I'm gonna go to my Google Drive here, my drive. I'm gonna go to my folder that I created, you know, whatever your folder system is. I'm just gonna make a new folder that says samplers. Because the samplers, they're not really like art projects. They're just kind of like skill builder, technique, practice. Okay, and then I'll just change this to say my name. So, Ms. Dreon. And I'll save it. I'll say okay. So the reason I'm saving the Photoshop, I just want you to be in the habit of always saving your Photoshop first, then a JPEG. Because the Photoshop, if we look at it on a new, maybe we go and print it and it's like, whoa, your screen must have been off. Like it's looking way too yellow. And you were like, oh, I added that in one of my layers. We want to be able to go back and fix it. So you always want to save it first as a Photoshop, and second, save a copy. Save on your computer. G Drive right in the exact same place as a JPEG. So you're always saving everything 2 times. Once as a Photoshop, once as a JPEG. And I'll just say okay. And then the JPEG is what you turn into Schoology. And obviously I did not finish this, so you can finish these other 2 on your own.